I'm not gonna waste any time. Just gonna get straight into it. Actually, my mic has been a little quieter than it should be recently, but I'm not gonna let that get to me. I got a review to do. Forgive me if I don't know how to jump into this review. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I know I remember. I know I can do it. I got this. Hi, hello there, and welcome to the new review of Billie Eilish. Hit Me Hard and Soft. Okay, now to start off. This is the long-awaited return of LA superstar Billie Eilish after a 3-year hiatus since Happier Than Ever. Billie is known for her style of what can only be described as whisper pop. I don't know if that's a real genre, but that's what I like to call it personally, because it's pop, but she's whispering. I could not make it any more clear. Now, I call it this because usually she exhibits melodic and angelic tones all while displaying a soft tone of voice. Something you'd get from someone like Ethel Cain or, her biggest side-by-side comparison, Lana Del Rey. However, she still manages to be the standout, as I personally think When We All Fall Asleep is the best showcase of what that genre's capable of. I personally believe her debut has much more to offer than most believe. It's unique, it shows personality, it's not trying to be anything that we're used to hearing. I appreciate how she makes almost every track work in a way that I've never seen personally. Being this horrorcore kind of mashup. Come around to 2024 currently, we now have her third studio album, Hit Me Hard and Soft, which is for sure a versatile asset to Billie's discog, but does come with more downsides than I've expected, knowing what Billie's capable of usually. For starters, let's get into the track titled Skinny, right? Most of the songs she delivers really heartfelt and precious vocals, letting us know that she sees the negativity that's been about, most likely due to the recent coming out she's had, where she tells us that she's bisexual. She lets the world know, even though it's kind of been speculated for like a while now. It's now like a confirmed canon situation. And because of that situation, she seems to have lost like a chunk of following and has gotten unneeded hate, to say the least. Right? Because like, why do we care? Why is that our business, really? Also pointing out that she's lost weight. Good for her. She's lost weight, and I guess a narrative was pushed about how her weight loss equals happiness, even though we know that's not the case. Come on. I mean, it does make you feel better about yourself. I'm feeling pretty slim recently. It's been a struggle for me. She also takes the time to mention her newfound love while also speaking on her breakup with the last guy she dated. It's a lot, but I can't say I gravitate towards this opener personally. Now, I don't mean to sound nitpicky, but I do find this track to be a bit more whiny than it is deep. There will come a point in time where we all mature and realize that the internet isn't a place where you should rely on everyone to be a best friend. Negative reception is found anywhere. It floats everywhere about anything. Online opinions should not determine how you go about life, unless you really need help. Billie's a good person. I don't think she should be letting these online internet trolls get to her and get to her mental state. Which leads me to my second point. Shut down your laptop. Close your laptop. Turn off your computer. Delete your social media. Take time to yourself and focus on the family around you. Those are the opinions that matter, right? Those are the people who are in your life. It's that easy. However, I won't dismiss the track because I can see the appeal, but it's personally not my cup of tea. I happen to see the beauty in a very select few tracks, but my biggest enjoyment being Chihiro, named after the girl from Spirited Away, which I watched recently and I am a big fan of now. I can even go ahead and say the same for tracks like The Greatest, Wildflower, L'amour de ma vie, which is French, I believe, and even Blue, the closing track, has grown on me quite a bit. It's a great closer. However, through these sweet moments, I can't shake the bitter of this album. As different of a role that this record plays in Billie's discog, it doesn't change the fact that it isn't different from plenty of pop albums that we've already heard on the radio out there. It doesn't really do much for the community, which isn't to discredit her, because it has its moments, but it just doesn't feel any different from what I'd hear in the Hot 100. It's kind of plain and simple, so to speak. Songs like Lunch and Birds of a Feather sound so familiar and formulaic, it doesn't have any special factor for it. Excuse me. It doesn't have any special factor to it that I'd be willing to return to. Sometimes cheesy and formulaic isn't a bad thing, but Billie is a case where my hopes were set a little too far for comfort. Billie is a great artist, and I know she can do great things. And this album was cool, but I'm just not seeing the hype that everyone else was. Granted, she recently found herself in love and clearly had the inspiration to make this new love-themed project. It does play on a theme. It's just not what I thought it would be, as bad as that sounds. It's not like I completely dislike the album. In fact, my opinion is pretty unpopular from what the internet's been saying as about recently. Are her vocals great as ever? Yeah. Does the production have strong points? Yeah. I'm enjoying some tracks here and there, but not the LP entirely. It comes off radio safe and the theme feels too narrow to the point where the songs lack its own identity sometimes. You got certain songs on the record, In and Out, that just feel like she's not saying much else that she's already said previously. But you know what, regardless of how I may feel here and there, I truly can't wait to see what she has next in store, as I will still be holding high expectations. Also, I still will be bumping Chihiro until then. But on a nicer note, I will say this LP is filled with its fair share of highlights, from production to vocal performance to lyrics to build up. It's all great. Even the violin outro of Skinny is great. I think this production does have a lot to offer. More of my problems are held within the lyrics and just the overall messaging of what she's delivering in this album. I am happy that she's happy right now. I am happy that she's found her newfound love with this girlfriend of hers. I am happy that she is stronger than ever and coming through with new projects and getting back to work. I'm happy for Billie. Just when it comes to, certain aspects of this album, some songs don't really have enough strength to hold me, especially when the length is like 5 minutes and I just can't keep my focus. There aren't enough interest points in certain tracks for me to stay tuned in throughout the entire song. But Blue is kind of one of the cases where the length does help the track. I won't lie. If there's one thing I'd say I took away from this album, however, is that, hey man, be comfortable with yourself. Be comfortable with who you are. Be comfortable being who you are, loving who you are, and don't let these internet troll sons of mother get to you. Live your life. Don't let them hit you hard or soft.